Hey, good morning. Happy Super Bowl Monday. Are you fresh and chipper and ready to tackle the week? I wasn't this morning. We're only 17 minutes late. It's because I had a few spotted cows last night. That's why, being full disclosure, if I would have been working at the office, I would have been 5-10 minutes late. Kind of gets a slide in many offices. Should the Super Bowl be on Saturday night? I don't know. Now that I work from home, I'm self-employed. I'm like, I'm cool with a Sunday Super Bowl. Now, back in my working days at the office, would I want a Super Bowl Saturday? I think so. So here we are. Lot to talk about. Lot to take part from last night's Super Bowl. It was a super game. It was awesome. I loved the game. I enjoyed the commercials. I thought the commercials were better than recent years. The National Anthem was amazing. Up there with Whitney Houston. I don't know if it's I think Whitney still has the number one spot. Stapleton right there. Halftime show was okay. I'm not a big Rihanna fan, but I think it's better than some of the classic rock. I'll go into my halftime because I've got lots of thoughts. It's a very divisive topic, the halftime show. Like, of all of the things that we get our panties in a bunch, it's the damn Super Bowl halftime show. And it really shows. I didn't see, and I had a little tongue-in-cheek comment on Twitter about the geezers complaining about the halftime show. It is. If you complain about the halftime show, you're an old geezer. That's just the way it is. That's just the way. If you watch the Grammys and you complain about not knowing who anybody is, it's because you're old. I remember telling my dad, who are these people? I don't know any of these people. Guess what? You're old. Sorry. And guess what? I'm at that point in my life. You just have to take it. Where was I going? Halftime show. It also, I didn't see too much. After I made my little tweet, I saw a couple tweets. Somebody commented, don't go to Facebook. And so I did. Smell this spoiled milk. Oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. I never want to smell that again. I want to, oh my God. That's what it is. I'm going to Facebook. Jesus H. The racism really shows on a lot of people on Facebook, and they don't hide it. God, I typed out like 5 or 6 different, F you mother effer. And I had to, I typed it out, I got it out, and then I deleted it. And I don't think I, but you mother. All right, let's get into the chat. See where we're at. Low Roller's in the house. What's up? He's first. What a great game. I agree. I found myself rooting for both teams. I didn't really care who won. Actually, I didn't care at all. I'm not a fan of either the Chiefs or the Eagles. I had no money on the game. I did not bet on any part of the game. I was not in a Super Bowl square. I had zero money on the line. I don't dislike either team. Like a lot of times, it's like the Cowboys. Okay, I'm rooting against Dallas because I hate the Cowboys. I don't hate the Cowboys, but I dislike them. I don't want them to win the Super Bowl. If the Packers were in the Super Bowl, you're damn right, Max. I'm rooting against those Packers. Hell yeah. Even if it's the Cowboys, that couldn't happen in the Super Bowl. It'd have to be the Patriots. I'm rooting against Green Bay and against Dallas. So, but both quarterbacks are very likable. Mahomes, Hurts. I found myself, whoever was on offense, I'm like, I'm rooting for them. I just wanted a great game, and we got that. Herman says, but were you the first to hit the like button? Oh, thank you. We're already up to 10 likes. I like it. Brian, what's up? Good morning. Good morning, Johnny Boy Cards. Super Bowl Monday. Jenny, what is up? Flipping Sports Guy says you would have thought Philly won. How Broad Street looked after the game last night. It's Philly being Philly, man. Philly wins. It's going to look like It's going to look like that. Philly loses, it's going to look like that. We're going to tear it up if we win. We're going to tear it up if we lose. Jenny says Philly has had a good and rough year in sports. Good that they got there, bad that they lose. Red Light 34 in the house. What's up? Maddie Ice is here. Hit that like button. Thank you, Red Light. Victor, good morning. David, good morning. Glad to hear the Rockford show was strong. It was. Great show. Flipping Sports Guy says, I unfortunately sold Bolton and Tony Rookie sold a couple hours before the game. Thankfully, I had one Tony left that I tripled the price on after the punt return. Man, that was an awesome punt return. I don't even know. I have some. I had pulled aside as I was going through this last palette because there was a lot of newer stuff. I'd pulled aside like Devontae Smith and somebody else. Maybe any Kelsey's that I found. But, I mean, Kelsey's would be like, I don't even know when Kelsey's rookie year was. But mostly I had a stack of Mahomes, Hurts, and then my Burrows. It's like, well, I've got all my I listed all my Mahomes and Hurts. It's like, well, I've got the stack of Burrows, and I think I've sold at least one of those Burrow rookies at regular price. My 50% off sale is going on through 6 p.m. tonight. So you have about 12 hours to get those orders in, a little less than 12 hours. 50% off when you buy 10 or more cards at regular price. So I am not sending out offers because I know some people get confused because the eBay wording, it doesn't say like, hey, this voids the 50% offer. I might be able to set that up somehow, but I'm just going to abstain from sending any offers just to avoid any potential confusion. But I have over 400. Normally I have, but I also send out offers on a regular basis. But I have over 400 items that I can send an offer on. And usually it's like around 100. And then I'll whittle it down to 20 or 30 and then just send out a bunch of random offers again. I'm sitting on a bunch of offers that it's like I'm moving enough. And they're like dollar offers on $1.50. So I'm not even interested in countering at this point unless somebody would come in and want a bunch, but then it negates them saving. They would actually spend more money because what's 25 or wait, if it's $1, it's 33% off. If they're sending me an offer for $1, but right now it's 50% off if they buy 10 or more. So they get those for 75 cents. So I forgot, and I think I tracked this last year during the Super Bowl, my eBay sales. And you would think, me listing Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, you would think people would be coming in during the game buying Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts cards. Not the case. I only sold 8 cards from from 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock or whenever the game ended. From 5 p.m., which kind of starts, that's like the start of getting close to the game. It's 5:05, and my wife's like, I thought it started at 5. Well, some of it starts at 5. The pregame show started at like 8 a.m. And then 5 o'clock is when that's when you tune in and watch all of the different, like the national anthem, the coin toss, the starting lineups, and all that stuff. And it takes a half an hour. She's like, well, when does kickoff? About 5:30, 5:27, I think, whatever it is. So from 5 p.m. until 9, until after the game, 8 sales from 9 p.m. till like 10 p.m., 86 sales in my eBay store. So I think everybody was like just holding out until the final whistle. Here's something that I'm confused about. The pregame show is 12 hours long. I'm cool with that. The post-game show is like 12 minutes. What the hell is up with that? We spend 12, it's like Christmas. Christmas starts in October, right? And then it's here and it's gone. It's like, oh, Christmas is over. 12-hour pregame show. And I know I'm probably exaggerating. I think it started at, maybe it's 8 hours. I don't know. But it's a long pregame show. And the postgame show is like, oh, here's a couple of quick blah, 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 blah. Here's the trophy. Mahomes, you're the MVP. And we're out. Now it's time to watch Gordon Ramsay. I've always found that so strange. And I understand like the NFL Network probably, I think last year I watched like I flipped it over last night. I'm like, I don't give a crap. But when I went to bed, I just had Friends on. So that's always like, why? But I get it. They want to, I know from a network standpoint, they want to grab the attention of viewers and throw on a new show. Back in the day, what was it? I know like 10 or 15 years ago, I think it was Grey's Anatomy debuted right after the Super Bowl, and other various shows that they try to boost because it comes right on. ER, I think, was back in the 90s. So I get it. I get it, but I don't get it. Flipping Sports Guy says LRS is muted. He retracts that message. Kyle says, good morning. What's up, Kyle? How about that Eagles offensive line? Both Kelsey brothers are Hall of Fame bound. That Eagles offensive line, and I think this actually, it may look green on your screen, but I think this is actually blue. That Eagles offensive line, I think I made a comment last night that Jalen Hurts could have scored on a goal line sneak from the 20. That Eagles offensive line, my God, just amazing. I mean, Hurts was getting every freaking yard. That was awesome. And the Kelsey brothers, I mean, just an awesome story. I was able to catch their interview during the pregame show. And that was really cool. Like it's just a cool story. Like, I mean, especially if you have brothers. Like I have brothers, but I didn't grow up with my brothers. So I didn't have that brother bond where you like, you love each other, but you also hate each other. And they're 2 years apart. So they're super competitive. And I think Travis was the younger brother. So, and I get it. Like, you're always trying to chase, your older brother or older relative around. So just a cool story. Flipping Sports Guy says, I went back to cooking during the anthem, was another way to slow draw out one for me. Halftime show was crap, says James. Well, you're old. James, you're an old geezer. That's what that means. Glad the whistle wasn't swallowed at the end. Halftime was second best to last year that I've seen in my lifetime. That's, gosh, I'd have to go back. I thought the halftime show was good. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. It wasn't great, in my opinion. It wasn't bad, in my opinion. I thought it was okay. I would probably, among the Super Bowl halftimes, and we'll go back to like the Super Bowls that I remember, and remember like watching, which would have been Super Bowl. What would that have been? 23? Whatever the Bengals 49ers was in not the first one, but the second one in 88 or 89. I'd have to go back. I'm curious now looking back. I know there was some duds, and here's about halftime shows. Like the Tom Petty halftime show sucked. And I love Tom. Tom Petty is in my top 5 all-time musical acts. And his halftime show was one of my least favorites of all time, of all the Super Bowls that I've watched. I enjoy music by The Who. I thought their Super Bowl halftime may have been the worst of all time. Paul McCartney, I think that might be, in my opinion, the worst halftime show of all time. Paul McCartney. My favorite band of all time is Pearl Jam. And if Pearl Jam performed at the halftime show, they would compete for worst halftime show of all time because they're just not like Tom Petty, like The Who, like Paul McCartney. They're just not like, it's the Super Bowl. It's got to be like upbeat. It's got to be Rihanna. It's got to be Dre and Snoop. It's got to be Lady Gaga. It's got to be upbeat, fun, pop, classic rock. I could see some country. Now, we're talking modern country. This may upset some of the classics. But like, the classic country, like the 90s country would suck at a halftime show. But like, and I'm sure there's probably, was there a country halftime show at some point? But it would be good. Like the upbeat, fun pop country. That would make a good halftime show. Let's see. So in addressing Max, glad the whistle wasn't swallowed at the end. Same here. And here's the thing. I mean, everybody's come out and said, like, I had no skin in the game. I was just watching it. In fact, maybe at the time I was rooting for the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes had the football. I was rooting. In hindsight, I think now that it's all finished and knowing what happened in the game as far as statistics, I wish the Eagles won because Jalen Hurts had an awesome game. I wish the Eagles would have won for Jalen Hurts, but I didn't care. And I'm glad the Eagles were called on that penalty, even though in hindsight, I wanted the Eagles to win. I'm glad that penalty flag was thrown on that play because it was a penalty. And it's funny when I make these comments, I can tell who's got skin in the game and who doesn't. And when they do have skin in the game, who is it for? You know, I think it was on the AJ Brown, might have been the first or second touchdown pass, Hurts to Brown. And Hurts just slung that football, but he trusted AJ Brown. That was a great throw. And that was a terrible throw. No, it wasn't. It was a great throw because Jalen Hurts trusted AJ Brown to get to that ball, and Jalen Hurts threw it to a spot where he knew AJ Brown could get to it. Now, that's not taking anything away from AJ Brown. My tweet saying that was a great throw was not saying it was not a good catch. That was a great throw. It was also a great catch. AJ Brown made a great catch. Jalen Hurts made a great throw. It was by far terrible. Now, the very last throw that Jalen Hurts did at the end of the game, that was a terrible throw. It's like, what the hell was that? I'm like, he's got all the time in the world. Of course, all the defense is playing prevent defense. And I'm like, oh man, Hurts is going to sling this ball downfield. It's going to be tipped, and somebody's going to come down with it, whether it's an Eagles receiver or a Chiefs defensive player. And he didn't even, it's like, wah, wah. That was a terrible throw. But I'm glad. I'm glad the penalty was called. Bradbury, who committed the penalty, comes out after the game. Yeah, I held him. I thought I was hoping I'd get away with it. And if you come and say, well, they didn't call that all game. Well, here's the thing about officiating. There's 22 players on the field. And there's how many officials? 6, 8, I don't even know. But they're not all watching. If they're all watching this play, this thing going on here, what's going on over there? Also, the officials in stripes on the field don't have the benefit of 27 different camera angles on a big screen TV from the comfort of their recliner or couch, and then multiple replays, and then Twitter. Oh, here's what everybody's saying about that play. Oh yeah, the replay. Yep. It's in real time, at real speed, at one angle, their eyeballs. So sometimes there's probably a hold on every single play of a football game. It doesn't mean they're letting it slide. It just means it wasn't caught. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves in sports is in the final seconds of a basketball game in a foul is called. Let them play. No. The rules are in existence for a reason. And it doesn't matter if it's 3 seconds left in the game or 3 seconds into the first quarter. You call a foul if a foul is committed. That's what the rules are there for. Same goes in football. A penalty flag is a penalty flag. If a referee sees it, he can't see it and unsee it and swallow the whistle. No, you call the penalty. And I'm glad. And it's like Bradbury has nothing to gain by admitting in the post-game press conference. He has nothing to gain by saying, yeah, that was on me. I mean, I love the honesty, but what does it do for him? Like, it doesn't benefit him by being honest and saying I was hoping I'd get away with it. Andrew and Dean are in the house. What is up? Clark is here. What's happening? Where are we at? I skipped too far ahead. I was getting on my rant. My rant is on. Where are we at? Cooter, what's up? Cooter, I am going to call Cooter today. Actually, Cooter, I don't think I can call you today. I have over 200 eBay things to ship, and we have to meet with our contractor. So I don't think I'll call today. I will reach out, and tomorrow should be a better day. Low Roller says, list NASCAR since it's Daytona 500 this week. Kyle, shop my eBay store. Paul, what's up? Good morning to you. Flipping Sports Guy says, funny thing is, most of Rihanna's best songs are about 10 to 15 years old. She's not even a recent artist. Yeah. But you know what? And I think, was it last year was like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like, and I mean, I'm sure they're still like making music, but they're like biggest hits, and they probably drew the most pop from their 90s stuff, which was 30 plus years ago. So, or 30 years ago. Let's see. Man, but I will say the one thing, and again, I thought Rihanna's performance was good. It was good. It was okay. Like, it was okay. But when I heard Carlos Santana's guitar, I'm like, oh, sweet Carlos Santana. And my wife's just kind of like, huh? And then no Carlos Santana. So I was a little disappointed. But I enjoyed hearing the Carlos Santana riff. Good morning, Zach and Porter in the house. Brian says, didn't care who won either, but I seem to cheer for Kansas City a little more. I think I'm in the same boat, but I think I probably would give the edge to Philly. I think before the game, I would have said, yeah, I want the Chiefs to win. But during the game, watching Jalen Hurts, I'm like, I want Philly to win because Jalen Hurts, just going on performance, man, he was amazing. Cooter said he saw more racist comments than geezer comments regarding halftime. Makes me sick. I mean, I had to really bite my tongue. I had to really bite my tongue last night on Facebook. And it's like, why in the hell am I on Facebook? Facebook is, and the shitty thing about Facebook is it's like my family and people I know. Twitter is complete strangers. But I'm that's what pisses me off the most. It's like people that I know personally. That's what makes me sick, is seeing this from like friends and family that I've known for years. Good morning, Ed. What's up? Huddle Card, what's happening? Good morning, Chet. Happy Super Bowl hangover Monday. Yes, indeed. I saw so many great food spreads. Guess what I had for dinner last night? I didn't make any wings. I mean, come on, really? Do you think I'm making wings? I'm ordering them from Wingstop or B-Dubs. I didn't even put a pizza in. I had like a lean cuisine. I'm like, it's like 6:30, getting close to halftime. I'm like, well, looking through. I don't even have a frozen pizza in the fridge. I'm like, well, I had a Hot Pocket for lunch. Oh, which, by the way, was Philly steak and cheese, ironically. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to have a chicken marsala microwave dinner. That was my dinner. 6 spotted cows and chicken marsala, lean cuisine. T206 Kid, what's up? I wish I still watched the NFL. Have not watched in 10 years, Super Bowl included. Wow. Football's never been like, actually, I shouldn't say never, because when I was a kid, I loved football. Absolutely loved football. In fact, when I was in 5th grade, I was also the shortest kid in my class in 5th grade. I didn't hit that growth spurt until junior high. I was going to be a professional football player in the NFL. That dream was crushed pretty quickly. But I love the NFL in the early 90s. But I'm curious why you don't watch the NFL anymore. Now, I do get upset by the protection of the quarterback and like what is a catch, what is not a catch. Like that's annoying as hell. I just wish, hey, if you catch the ball, you catch the ball. The process, like, come on. He didn't complete the process. Like, are you effing kidding me? That's what annoys me. Like, a running back crosses the plane of the goal, touchdown, without a doubt. No, touchdown. A wide receiver catches the ball, crosses the plane of the goal, but if he bobbles it, even in the end zone after he crosses the plane, oh, he didn't complete the process. Bullshit, he crossed the plane of the goal. The running back gets a touchdown. I hate the rules. I hate the rules. But I don't hate them enough to stop watching. Let's see. And the Super Bowl's just an event. It's kind of like the Grammys. Although the Grammys were recently on and we didn't watch that. But like the Oscars, it's an event. I don't watch 80% of the movies that are up for Oscars. Not until like movies like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison are nominated for an Oscar. I'm probably not going to ever watch most of the Oscar nominated movies. It's just not my thing. But I still watch the Oscars because it's an event. It's very enjoyable. Kind of like the Super Bowl. Now, if the Chiefs and Eagles play in week 7, I don't give a damn. I mean, I'll watch Bears games, but if it's Chiefs and Eagles on Monday night, like I don't watch Monday Night Football. I certainly don't watch Thursday Night Football. And it's background. If it's a non-Bears game, Sundays, it's just on in the background. Good morning, Royals 417. What is up? Go Chiefs, but glad to get that sport out of the way. It just means we're that much closer to baseball. Now we can focus fully on baseball. Hey, speaking of baseball, we'll get back to, I want to talk about Super Bowl commercials. I'm probably going to have to step away to blow my nose unless actually, you know what? I've got some hanky right here. Okay. Where was I at? Baseball. Was I at baseball? Was I at baseball? Now I can't remember. Blew my nose and I blew my train of thought. Yes, glad to get that out of the way. Go Chiefs. Baseball. Yes. So I can't remember what I was going to get to. I'll probably circle back. Brian says, went to my PC yesterday, pulled out a $160 bill plus $5.95 shipping, 98 Upper Deck J8 Jordan holding court. Hey, very nice. Cooter says, looking forward to the 4 most beautiful words in sports, pitchers and catchers report, which is like this week. I think the official reporting date's like today or tomorrow. Just from watching, actually Ethan Roberts sends me some like pictures and videos because he's been out there since right after Christmas. So I kind of get a sneak peek. Plus, there's like photographers that are out there that are taking like Seiya Suzuki reported last week. So there's a lot of players at least for the Cubs I know that are already at spring training and they've already reported. So like the official report date this week. Low Roller telling me to list NASCAR. I heard you the first time. Good morning, Uncle Rich. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you. Huddle Card says, I sold 1 card during the game. It was Justin Herbert. Baseball Card Curmudgeon says, rigged game last night. Well, that's a curmudgeon thing to say. Flipping Sports Guy says, say it one more time for the people in back, right? What's up, curmudgeon? And it was a heck of a game, and both KC victories with Mahomes had 10-point comebacks. George in the house. What is up to George? Mahomes has fully joined the list of QBs where you're screwed if you leave them any time left on the clock. Yeah, very true. Very true. Pitchers and catchers report. Yes. Look, you can always go back to Up with People as the halftime show. Yeah, go back to the early days of the Super Bowl and look at those halftime. Up with People did like every Super Bowl halftime show in the 70s. Brian says, drunk wife thought Rihanna should have had other surprise guests come out. That was my wife and I both said that. Like, I wish somebody else would have came out. But, you know, I do enjoy some of the collaborations. It's like, okay, come on. You're just trying to squeeze as many people out on stage as you can to get pops. So sometimes I appreciate just It's Rihanna's halftime show. It's not clouded by 17 other acts that come out and join her on stage and do these collaborations. My wife did mention, yes, I am guilty of having "is Rihanna pregnant" in a Google search. My wife's like, oh, Rihanna's pregnant. And she's like, I wonder if she's the first pregnant Super Bowl halftime performer. And I'm like, oh, she's pregnant, because my wife is up on like celebrity gossip and news. Like I'm talking, this is I'm sharing to my wife about Chinese spy balloons, and oh my God, there's another unidentified object over Lake Michigan today. And my wife's like, did you know Kanye and Kim Kardashian broke up? Oh, okay. So she's up on celebrity gossip. So I'm like, oh, Rihanna's pregnant. And I'm like, how do you know? Like, I don't know how the conversation went, but so she's like, well, I think she is. And then I'm like, well, I'll Google it. There was nothing. There was like no stories on is Rihanna pregnant. And I'm like, well, she just had a baby in May. And then I started doing the math. I'm like, oh yeah, she could have been. They could have went back to work. She could be pregnant. So I think it came out like at the end of the halftime show, like TMZ, like Rihanna, big reveal she's pregnant with a baby bump at halftime. Flipping Sports Guy says early to mid 2K Super Bowls were the best. Aerosmith, Prince, Phil Collins, U2, the Nip Slip, the Stones. Those were my least favorite. The Stones. I thought the Stones sucked for a halftime show. Prince was good. I think my nerves got to the best of me. I was in a group chat and I'm like, Prince sucked. I think I was just pissed off. Prince sucked. Then I think it backtracked. I'm like, it was okay. Prince was good. If I was ranking, and again, I have to have like, I would say in Flipping Sports Guy has quite the list there. Prince would totally, of those performances, Prince is definitely at the top of that list. I love Phil Collins. I don't even remember that halftime show because I was either hammered or it sucked. But if it was in the early to mid 2Ks, the chances are I was hammered. The Nip Slip, that was a great halftime show. No, get your mind out of the gutter. That was with who was it? JT, Justin Timberlake. That was a good one. But then after the Nip Slip, then it was like, oh, we've got to really tone it down. And then it sucked for a few years. And then they finally went back to like some pop stars. Good morning, Terry. What's up? Herman says Blues Brothers, James Brown, ZZ Top, 97. I don't remember that one. I'm going to have to go back. I wonder if there's a list. By the way, I have The Athletic. They ranked, we're going to talk Super Bowl commercials here in a second. Let's stay on the line of halftime shows. Super Bowl halftime shows. There's probably, Andrew, we're going to get ready for a Wikipedia read. List of boom. First thing on my Google search. List of Super Bowl halftime shows. Katy Perry, that was a pretty good one. You had the Dancing Sharks. Do you know who performed at halftime of the first Super Bowl between the Packers and who did they play in that first one? The Chiefs? I can't remember if it was Chiefs or the other team. Who did the Raiders? I can't remember. Anyway, it was the University of Arizona Symphonic Marching Band, the Grambling Marching Band, and the Al Hurt Anaheim High School Anaheim Steppers Drill Team and Flag Girls. That was the very first Super Bowl halftime show. When did we see Up With People for the first time? Uncle Rich is probably already on it. That was late 70s, mid 70s, 1976, Up With People. Then we go into the 80s, Up With People with Grambling in 1980 for Super Bowl 14. We had the Southern University. So we were still doing marching bands and Up With People in the early 80s. The Los Angeles Super Drill Team in 1983. Let's go to Super Bowl 20, my favorite Super Bowl. Up With People. Wow, in 1986. Let's see. It looks like by 87, Super Bowl 21, that's when they started to get a little creative. George Burns, Mickey Rooney, Grambling and USC marching bands, and Disney characters. So that's when we started to see a little oomph in the halftime shows. We had Chubby Checker at Super Bowl 22 a year later with the Rockettes. We still had some marching bands. Let's see. Super Bowl 23. That was the first Super Bowl I remember. Bengals and 49ers. The Elvis Presto South Florida area dancers and performers. I do not. What's this? The theme? Oh, so the theme of that year was 1950s rock and roll. Bebop Bamboozled in 3D. Sponsored by Diet Coke. It was introduced by Bob Costas with a 3D commercial for Diet Coke. Interesting. Let's see. When was the first musical act? 1991, Super Bowl 25. Small World tribute to 25 years of the Super Bowl. Guess who it was? New Kids on the Block. Oh yeah. New Kids on the Block. They did. It's a small world after all. We are the world. We are the children. Step by step, step by step. Ooh, baby. And then this one's for the children. Wow, that's a throwback. New Kids on the Block. All right, let's Michael Jackson did Super Bowl 27 in 1993. I bet that was good. He performed Jam, Billie Jean, Black and White, or Black or White, We Are the World, Heal the World. I bet that was a great. I'm sure I was 11. I was totally watching. I bet it was great. Oh, we did have, so I bet this halftime show sucked. Rockin' Country Sunday in 1994. I'm sure I skipped this halftime show because at this phase of my life, I absolutely despised country music. Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds. That was the Super Bowl halftime show in 1994. The following year, we had Patti LaBelle, Indiana Jones, and Marion Ravenwood, Teddy Pendergrass, Tony Bennett, the Miami Sound Machine. I would have had no interest in that halftime show being 13 years old. Diana Ross, I would have had no interest in that halftime show. 97, there's what Herman. I don't know if I remember this one. 97, I would have been freshman or sophomore in high school. The Blues Brothers, ZZ Top, and James Brown. I bet that was a great halftime show. I bet that was a good halftime show. The following year, we had a salute to Motown. I don't think I had any interest in this halftime show. Boys to Men, Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, Queen Latifah. 99, we had Gloria Estefan, Stevie Wonder, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. I don't think I would have been interested in that show. 2000, we had Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, and Tony Braxton. Aerosmith and NSYNC was in 2001. We had U2 in 2002. Shania Twain and No Doubt in 2003. 2004, I would have been all up on this one. Janet Jackson, P. Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake. Oh, that was the Nip Slip. Super Bowl 38 in 2004. Yeah, that was a fantastic halftime show. And then, so we went from that halftime show to Paul frickin' McCartney. I'm sorry, Beatles fans. That halftime show was awful. Rolling Stones was the following year. I was excited for Rolling Stones, and I thought it sucked. Prince was in 2000. Wow, I can't believe that was 2007. I thought it was more recent, but I guess he's been gone for almost 10 years, right? Tom Petty, I thought his performance was terrible. Bruce Springsteen in 2009. The Who. Oh, some of these were terrible. Okay, we'll stop reading on Wikipedia. That was a long Wikipedia read. Let's see. Baseball Card Curmudgeon says teams leading by 10 at the half in 10 Super Bowl were 26-1 before last night. Less than 5% chance of winning, and they did. Rigged. Flipping Sports Guy says Shania Twain had one. Max says any country would suck. Joe Card Legend, what is up? Where are we at? I skipped up. I had a little glitch, and of course, when I have a little glitch, it skips all over the place. We're going to talk Super Bowl commercials as well. Let's see. Where are we at? There we are. Flipping Sports Guy says it was like Cincy game 2 weeks ago. A defender made a boneheaded play that cost his team in a crucial moment. Absolutely. The 27 replays verified the holding call. Definitely. So the referees were on. They only got one, in real time look at that play, and they got it right. They didn't have the benefit of a couch and 27 different angles and 37 replays. Good morning, Dak T-Mac fan. What's happening? What a game in QB duel. I think the penalties on both sides evened out over the course of the game. I would agree with that. Even with the honesty, the fans here will continue to blame the ref and not the player. That is very true. Let's see. Zach says there was a country halftime way back. Clint Black, I believe. Garth Brooks is probably the only 90s act who could pull it off. Amazing entertainer. And that was when I was thinking like 90s, and I'm like Garth Brooks, and I'm like, actually, Garth Brooks would probably put on a hell of a show. Boomba Sports Cards. Hey, y'all. So I pulled a Nolan Ryan 9 of 10 tops gilded gold frame in a break. In the same break, I had the Rangers in Boston and pulled a Marcelo Meyer Bowman Black Shimmer 1 of 1. Damn, that is some fire. Let's see. That is awesome. Max says the people saying Rihanna isn't relevant are the same ones wanting the Stones, Doors, Prince. You are exactly correct. Let's see. Boomba says got him this past Saturday. If anyone is interested in either of them, let me know. So it was Marcelo Meyer and who? Nolan Ryan. Okay. Trying to think if I know anybody that are like big time collectors of those guys. I don't think I do. Jenny says, I guess what you had for dinner last night, but by the time you get down here in the chat, it will be 20 minutes old. You are exactly correct. Let's see. Curmudgeon says penalty was fine. Paige and Deanie Bean says, Dean asked a really awesome question yesterday. Who hit the first home run in professional baseball? Ooh, that's going in. I don't know. Wikipedia will probably tell you. You got me off on a I'm just going to type in home run. Let's see. Types of home runs. Let's see. History. Because it was like, I don't know. The first home run ever hit in the National League was by Ross Barnes of my Chicago Cubs. They were not called the Cubs. They were the Chicago White Stockings. In 1876, the home run was literally descriptive. Home runs over the fence were rare and only in ballparks where a fence was fairly close. And that's kind of what I was thinking was they probably didn't have many over the fence home runs. Ross Barnes. There you go. Let's see. Christian says, didn't complete the process. Where did that verbiage come from? I think they just pulled it out of the sky like 15 years ago. There you go. Boomba. Boom. Nailed it. Ross Barnes. I've rarely seen a team like Philadelphia come out with no emotion, heart, care, passion, and lack of a game plan in the second half. Major choke job. Yeah, like Kansas City, like came out, boom. Like they came out in the second half. We're taking this. And Philly came out flat. I agree. Flipping Sports Guy says Eagles Chiefs game this year will be in KC 2. If it was Philly, oh my God, that would be insane. The heat they'd get. Kyle says, I think many of us had our NFL and or MLB aspirations crushed around the age of 13. I understand your pain. Yes. That was about my time. Curmudgeon says second best sack defense in the league. Philadelphia had no sacks. You can't make that up. How is that possible? Philly didn't even cover 2 of their TD catches. Defense was way off. Low Roller says XFL. So we've still got football. XFL for me is like, I'll probably watch the first week, get excited, and then not watch it again. That's kind of USFL. I didn't even realize. Oh, I guess I did. Yeah. Your unknown football card players will sell in your eBay store the next 6 months. I did find some old XFL, like the original XFL cards, which I forgot Rashaan Salam played in the original XFL. I think he played for the Memphis Maniacs. And he was really good. He was like one of the top 5 running backs. And he missed like 3 or 4 games missed the end of the season with injury. Baseball card curmudgeon says USFL for life. Rick says anyone else tired of Travis Kelce's act? Makes millions playing football, but always cries about getting respect. What a crybaby. I'm cool with it. I mean, the thing is, like, it's just he's telling it like it is. Like all of the guys on the panel, like said, Eagles, Eagles, Eagles across the board, Eagles. It's just locker room. Like we're gonna take that, like shove it down your throat, talking heads. I kind of like it. I kind of like his act. I kind of like it. Let's see. Curmudgeon says, see the video of Goodell hugging KC player telling him, I told you I wouldn't let Philly win. Let's see. Don't forget about CFL. Rihanna is braver than me. I hate heights and would have pissed myself on national TV. George says, so Topps producing cards is the halftime show of the hobby. Yes. Throw as many out there as you can. Yes. Flipping Sports Guy says, I was okay with it, Rick. No one did think they would be this year. The talk all offseason was no Tyreek Hill. Their offense will flop. Yeah. That was kind of the storyline. Like, well, they get rid of Tyreek Hill, but yet they have a better passing offense without Tyreek Hill. Let's see. TD Sports Cards, what's happening? Now that KC has won twice recently, they have instantly turned into a villain. That's how fast fans turn on winning teams has always happened. Yeah. Like, I mean, the Patriots are now like, ooh, we hate the Patriots. But 20 years ago, it's like, oh, it's such a feel-good story. The Patriots have sucked for so long. They got the only Super Bowl. They got absolutely hammered by the Chicago Bears. Oh, that's such a great, sweet story. And now everybody hates the Patriots. They're the new hated team of America. And they're probably going to suck for 20 years. They're going to get back. And we hated them. We hated them. And then they sucked, so we love them. Why do we love sucky teams? The lovable losers. We want the Cubs to win because they haven't won in so long. And then they get really good. Oh, the Cubs. Everybody, the Cubs are always on ESPN. The Cubs. Everybody's talking about the Cubs. Now everybody hates the Cubs. Oh, and they've sucked for a few years. And it's like, they're just the Cubs. They've sucked for a few years. That is strange. Why is that? We hate winners. Let's see. None of the commercials popped out at me. So let's talk about commercials. Kyle says, I'm in football mode watching the Super Bowl. Every halftime show since 1986 has sucked for me as I am not in music mode. David says, some marching band. Some of the worst shows were the recent The Weeknd, Shakira, J-Lo, Gaga. I thought that halftime show was really good. Rihanna was great. Was she the first billionaire to perform? I don't know. Flipping Sports Guy says agreed to TD. Johnny says, when I went to Super Bowl 16, the Michigan marching band performed. Let's see. Curmudgeon is questioning Rihanna being a billionaire. Grambling State has the most halftime appearances. Interesting. Cards in the Closet. We're going to get to commercials. When In Living Color started their own halftime programming, they pulled so many away from the Super Bowl show that the NFL stepped up their halftime game. Yeah, that would have been, right? Yeah. Counter programming. And that Super Bowl's like, hey, we got to counter the counter programming. Augusta Lawn Care, what's up? Good morning. The Who was one of the great shows. Oh, disagree. Hard disagree. One of the worst in my opinion. But that's the fun part. Like, we all like and dislike different things. And there's no right or wrong. In your opinion, The Who was great. In my opinion, The Who sucked. Neither of us are wrong. Let's see. Andrew says, at this point, they may be starting the idea of a documentary regarding Super Bowl halftime performances. That would be interesting. Good morning, Harlan in the house. Baseball coming. Yeah, baby. Rihanna is a billionaire. Her clothing line is where she makes a ton of money and, of course, royalties. Why are you offended that someone else is a billionaire? Rick says, what does Rick say? Where are we at? Let's see. TD Sports, I agree about The Who. I wasn't into Katy Perry, but I did like that show. That lion was epic. Duncan Affleck, J-Lo, best commercial. That was among my short list. I have the best and worst pulled up, and I flipped through it really quickly, and I don't know which they're ranking as best and worst, but we'll go through it. I think the biggest issue with the halftime show is that live music should be live and in person. Bo the Beatle basher. Hey, I enjoy Beatles music. I just think Paul McCartney's halftime show sucked. Rihanna is worth $1.6 billion. She's a cosmetic mogul. Read a book. I saw Stones in Detroit during Steelers Seahawks halftime show. You could hear Jagger's bones cracking through the microphone. Eagles outplayed KC, but the reason they won, KC played a perfect game. Eagles only made a few mistakes, but they were big ones, fumbled for a TD. Yeah, Jalen Hurts, like that fumble for a score. That was tough. Let's see. Give my Eagles all the love, though. They played their hearts out and proved all the doubters wrong. The Eagles had the game in the bag, but the DBs messed up late. Let's see. Only Bo, day after the biggest game of the world, and I log in. We were talking about Michael Jackson. Christian says, didn't complete the process. Comment was a joke. You can thank the Lions for bringing that up. It came from a game with the Bears. Rihanna isn't one of my favorites, but her and Taylor Swift are the modern Madonna of my early days. Taylor Swift, I actually recently, I've started like seeing that professional development, but that professional, like Taylor Swift is turning into the modern day Madonna. Like I'm totally like, we are seeing that before our eyes. That's actually something that I thought about very recently. So I totally agree with that. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy says, I think Low Roller is a chat GPT with how much he repeats himself. Randy, what's up? The NFL needed the Chiefs to win so that they could have a replacement for Brady. It's all about the Benjamins. Curmudgeon says, NFL decided to paint the field. Even Bradshaw said it was a mistake. Lots of slipping, cleat changing, shame. Yeah, there was a lot of slipping on that field last night. The paint was a horrible idea, especially when you put on top of a golf playing surface. Whose bright idea was it to bring golf grass to a football game? Let's see. Bo, forgot to tell you, at the Fishtown show, I found a Field's gold cracked ice in a quarter box, sold in like 2 minutes. Wow, nice. Let's see. MIR, what's up? Good morning. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's talk Super Bowl commercials. So this is from The Athletic, and I just brought it up because it's very in-depth, so we can talk about all of them. So I think we all like different commercials for different reasons. We have different senses of humor. Among my favorite commercials are like the nostalgia. I love the nostalgia. One of my favorite all-time commercials was Radio Shack. That kind of backfired for him back about 10 years ago. But it was all about the nostalgia. And there was some nostalgia. They're mixing in nostalgia. Let's see. And there was some nostalgia there. Let's see. Where was the I saw somebody comment. Augustus says it was the worst commercial Super Bowl ever. Most of them I had already seen. I completely disagree with that. I thought it was much better than recent years. I think we are being spoiled because many of these commercials are being released prior to the actual Super Bowl, so they're not new. And that's what, like, if you've already seen it, it's like, oh, I've already seen it. You don't care. So I disagree. I thought there were some great commercials, and I thought overall they were better than in recent years. But that's my opinion. That's your opinion. I saw an interesting take before the Super Bowl in a pregame show. The Super Bowl was one of the least talked about nationally in the 2 weeks leading up to it. That's interesting. Let's see. Even Media Day wasn't as publicized as normal. And was that because it wasn't as publicized? Or no drama came about? I think when there's publicity, it's because something crazy happened. Jim McMahon moons a helicopter, or, something wild happens. And I just don't think there was any drama. Sal Dougie's in the house. What is up? Let's see. Rick says, I thought Greg Olson did a good job on the mic. Greg Olson's great. He is a great commentator. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy. Great. Yes. Thanks, social media. Yeah, we're exposed to these commercials before they actually air at the Super Bowl, so they're not new to us anymore. Budweiser Frogs was an epic. And I'm really disappointed by Anheuser-Busch in the last 10 years, 15 years. Like, they brought us the Bud Bowl. Bring back the Bud Bowl. That was epic. And if you never saw the Bud Bowl commercials from the late 80s, early 90s, do yourself a favor. YouTube Bud Bowl. Oh my God. Epic. The Frogs. Miller Lite had some great commercials in like the 90s, late 90s. Let's see. So we've got Augusta says, never saw the Budweiser one. The only thing my wife looks forward to, the horses and dogs. And see, that's the thing. Like, we each are attracted to the different, like, some are the animals. We love animals. Puppies are always, everybody loves puppies. The Clydesdales, everybody loves the Clydesdales. Then there's I grew up and lived in a rural area, so the Thank a Farmer was really big in my area a few years ago. I think it was with John Wayne's voice. But I think I'm more attracted to the nostalgia. So, and there was some nostalgia in there that I popped. Herman says the Dodge Ram commercial caught me off guard. That was the what was that one? That was the electrification. Let's see. Premature electrification. That was pretty good. The Athletic, and this is the best and worst Super Bowl commercials. But it just ranks them. Unless I'm missing something, but it says several women at the Super Bowl party were laughing pretty hard. Not sure what to think about that. Premature electrification. So this is a ranking, and I thought it just like ranked the commercials. Honorable mention, or does it go? These are teasers, Squarespace. This is not, Mehville. Avocados, and a lot of, like, I'm looking through this list, and it's like, I don't remember many of these commercials. The Hellman's Mayo, who's in the fridge? I thought that was really cool. Brie and Ham. Brie Larson and John Hamm are shrunken, and they're in the refrigerator talking about the mayo, and then Pete Davidson opens the fridge. I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was clever. It was a new idea. So I thought that was actually a pretty good one. The Doritos Jack Harlow's new angle. That was total, like, that was dumb. Elton John was in there. I'm sure they paid huge money. I thought that was kind of a crappy commercial. Let's see. Where are we at in the chat? Let's go to the chat real quick. Let's see where we at. The Bud Bowl was awesome. You always wanted to know who scored. Boomba says Doritos used to be awesome too. InBev now owns Budweiser, so it will never be the same as European companies approach marketing differently. Oh, I totally forgot about that. So yeah, it's not. So yeah, their marketing is completely different. You are right. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Brian, Paul Harvey. Yes, Paul Harvey. What did I say? John Wayne? I was way off. Paul Harvey, God Made a Farmer. I think my favorite Super Bowl commercial of all time was when in the delivery room, the wife throws the Dorito. That was a good one. I like the YouTube ad with the cat playing NFL Films music and the flag football one. I don't remember that one. And I'm going through this list and I'm like, was I just not paying attention? Which is very likely the case. Mike, what's up? Good morning. I found it funny, all the EV commercials from various auto brands. Then they show Elon Musk on screen, yet he didn't have a commercial for Tesla. The Jeep 4 was awesome. Boomba says, when y'all get a chance, watch Key and Peele Super Bowl introductions. Commercials were good, but that was a great Super Bowl last night. I would totally agree with that. Super Bowls, the commercial were good. The game was great. My favorite two were Workday, Ozzy and Paul Stanley, and the one with John Travolta. Was that the Neighbors commercial? So some of the ones that I liked, okay, we got Sam Adams, A Brighter Boston. I don't remember. Kevin Garnett appeared in that one. I don't remember that one. Uber won one hit with Hathaway's What Is Love. I don't recall that one. Pepsi Zero Sugar with Ben Stiller. Great acting or great taste. Let's see. I don't remember that one. Bud Light Hold. Let's see. Oh, the Hold music. I kind of remember the Hold music, but I don't recall watching. Again, I'm on my phone like during, and I just kind of look up. GM and Netflix, Why Not in EV? With Will Ferrell. That was okay. Popcorner's Breaking Bad. That was another one I don't recall. Crown Royal, Dave Grohl practices gratitude. I don't remember that one. I do recall the Dodge Ram premature electrification. I thought that was good. I thought it was funny. Dunkin' Donuts, Ben Affleck. I thought that was a good commercial. I did when J-Lo popped up. That was great. Like I think J-Lo's appearance at the end made that commercial. Like, and that was one that was spoiled. Like I saw like social media, like there was like, oh, Ben Affleck's gonna be in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. So I'm like, oh, this is clever. This is fun. And then when J-Lo, it's like, oh man, this is great. So that would be on my probably short list. The Bush commercial, Cold and Smooth Survival Skills with Sarah McLachlan. That was funny. And that's a wolf. That was a great commercial. Okay, let's get into the chat before we move on talking about other commercials. Rick says Undertaker was in a commercial. That was good. Yeah, I'm like, oh, the Undertaker. The cat playing keyboard was a promo for NFL Sunday Ticket. Will be available on YouTube next season. Just Inventory says it's weird to admit this, but I was up so early yesterday. I fell asleep with 4 minutes left in the game last night. Oh my God, you missed some good stuff. Undertaker with Chris Rock, that was good. It sucks. I honestly don't remember 95% of the commercials, and I was sober. Let's see. D. Palect says the Bush commercial with the ASPCA and Sarah McLachlan. McLachlan was great. Yes. Just Inventory says Breaking Bad was awesome. Herman says you were busy on Twitter calling out the old geezers. So it was around that time. Yeah, the old geezers complaining. Cooter says the .com era of the late 90s was the heyday of funny commercials. Yes, it was. Is now bankrupt companies threw their entire ad budget to a 30-second spot. That was good. And then all of a sudden, there was a time where the commercials, like it went all to like animals and like puppies. And it's like, I enjoy some of those commercials, but let's not like throw every freaking commercial about puppies and animals. Like, give me some funny stuff. Talking Babies was back. Love Talking Babies. I think Talking Babies are effing hilarious. So I think that was E-Trade. And I think the Talking Babies, like, I think they started in commercials like back in the late 90s during the .com with E-Trade. So the E-Trade Talking Babies, boom. Love it. Love Talking Babies. Let's see. Kyle says best commercial was for the Air recruiting a legend movie. Oh, I cannot wait for that movie. That is going to be great. Air. That is going to be fantastic. Max says, where were the Coinbase and FTX commercials for all the, or are those Beanie Babies? Now, those are Beanie Babies. Wazop. Those were great commercials back in the day. Brian says, my former employer, GoDaddy, was the best. They had some great commercials back in the day. Let's see. Let's go back to some of the best commercials. Michelob Ultra New Members Day. Let's see. Nostalgia comedy based on an actual comedy with accurate quotes, outfits, and more. Was that so this was on the just the picture I see is Serena Williams golfing. Was that at the end where Tony Romo is Bill Murray's character from Caddyshack? If that was great. Like Tony Romo as Bill Murray is like pretty perfect. Blue Moon, Miller Lite versus Coors Light. I don't remember that one. In fact, I want to go back and I'll watch that because I find that one to be interesting. It says, we waited for the battle, which was fun, and then found out it was actually for Blue Moon. Twist. Kia Binky Dad. I don't remember that one. And a lot of these, I'll remember it if I like watched it. I'm just basically, it's just showing me a picture with like a title. T-Mobile, Bradley Cooper's mom. I saw that. Like, that one didn't do anything for me. Paramount Stallone face. Don't remember that one. Downey Unstoppables, Mystery Celeb. Downey McBride. But even with DMX's What's My Name in the background, the forced humor scene and physical comedy shows how it's fun, but not amazing. I don't remember that. Playing on my nostalgia, Rakuten. Alicia Silverstone was my crush in the mid-90s. I loved Alicia Silverstone, and my God, she looks amazing. Wow. So I popped for the Rakuten commercial with Alicia Silverstone playing her Cher character from Clueless. I love that one. But again, I was a big Alicia Silverstone, had a big crush on her back in the day. Brian liked the Blue Moon commercial or whatever it was. I'm surprised Disney doesn't use the baby Yoda in a commercial. Zach says it was Paul Harvey's voice in the truck commercial, the speech Paul Harvey gave to FFA. One of my favorite commercials of all time. Paul Harvey is the GOAT. Michael, yep. Alicia Silverstone. The fact you can't remember the commercial shows just how bad they were. But I remember some of them. I'm like, oh, that was great. So yeah, I guess the ones I don't remember probably weren't good. Alicia was after Breaking Bad if you recorded the game. I'll just watch. They're all on YouTube. I'll just watch the commercials. T-Mobile, New Neighbor. That was pretty good. Clever. Pringles, The Best of Us. That was good because who didn't as a kid? Now I've got fat hands. My hands now it's like, oh, I can't fit my damn hand. But like as a kid, remember like putting your whole arm into a Pringles can and then so that was funny because that was a play on like my childhood, putting my whole arm into a Pringles can. Can't do that now with fat hands and fat wrists. So I did like that one. That was funny. Minneapolis Kid says, I like the one where it looked like someone was changing the channel. I don't remember that one. Ben Stiller and Steve Martin got me. I'm going to try that freaking Pepsi Zero. Wrong. Oh, there we go. Wrong window. DoorDash, we got groceries. That was okay. E-Trade, the baby wedding. I popped. I love Talking Babies. Memes to Dreams by Popeyes. That was pretty cool. The Popeyes kid, Dearnest Collin, who's now a college football player, I think Division III. Booking.com, Somewhere Anywhere. That was like meh. Melissa McCarthy. Squarespace, Adam Driver multiples. That one didn't do it for me. Full Swing Gossip with Alex Morgan. That was okay. Steve Martin's Pepsi commercial. Those were okay. Squarespace, I think I just said that was okay. Let's see. Avocados, yeah. The Doritos, that was bleh. The mayo commercial I liked. Oikos Sanders Family Reunion, I don't remember that one. Workday Rockstar, was that the one with Kiss or with whoever was in Kiss? 6 Degrees of Bud. I don't know if I remember that one. The Farmer's Dog Forever. I don't remember that one. That's way to hit us in the feels. That's yeah. So those were some of my favorites. Like every year, like yeah, it sounds like I'm meh on most of them, but that's like usually there's like 5 or 10 every year that I'm like that was an awesome commercial. And I think that like that was par for the course for me, in my opinion. My type of humor, nostalgia. There's been a few years recently where the Super Bowl commercials, like, yeah, they sucked. But last night had just enough that I thought it was okay. You know, not definitely not the heyday of Bud Bowl or the .com era. But I thought there was some decent commercials. Tubi commercial made me start looking for the remote. Dale Jr. was in a Menards commercial, made me feel good to shop at Menards. I know I'm weird. So that's my take. I thought the Super Bowl commercials overall were good. I thought the game was great. I thought the halftime show was good. It was okay to good for me, in my opinion. The National Anthem was one of the best of all time. I don't think Chris Stapleton's rendition is better than Whitney Houston, but it's probably number 2. That was an amazing National Anthem by Chris Stapleton. That was great. So that's my take on the Super Bowl. What a fun game. Really fun game to watch. So now I'm looking forward to baseball. Speaking of baseball, did you guys, this is not speaking of baseball. This is, let's go to the chat and then we'll speak baseball. Did you guys notice any really bad local commercials? I wonder how much those cost. those are bathroom breaks for me. Like, I don't, when a local commercial comes on, it's like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. Um, so, so that's kind of my thought there. Speaking of baseball, pitchers and catchers are reporting this week. Andrew's happy baseball. So I am still up in the air on my. Okay, so basically, I'm dragging this. I'm gonna go to spring training, but I don't want to book anything I mean, we're dealing with this renovation of the house, and it's just, I don't want to book anything just in case, just yet. But I'm like 95% going to go. Kind of like the National, where I was like 95% not going to go last year. But I just kind of dragged it out. I'm glad I didn't go. This year I'm going to go to spring training. I was very pissed off at the Rookies app. So what happened, like about 2 years ago, and I think I talked about this about 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, no, it's been longer than that. It was probably 5 years ago. It was like 2017 or 2018. Time flies. I started making like a documentary custom. By the way, the Rookies app is only on the iPhone, and you can create your own custom cards. You buy them. It's like 70 cents per card. And they have like 20 designs, like 88 Donruss, 88 score design, 85 Donruss, like just some random designs. And you can create your own cards. And so I've been like creating custom cards of like minor league guys that don't have any cards for my own collection, and I get autographed. So about 5 years ago, I was creating like like kind of like what Upper Deck did 20 years ago with documenting every game of the season. So I was doing this. Where did you say you make your own card is? It's called the Rookies app. It's only available on iPhone. They don't have an Android app. So it's only on the iPhone. It's called the Rookies app. So 5 years ago, I created like 160 cards, and I was going to put the order in, and the app froze on me. And I'm like doing all kinds, like I'm refreshing. I'm Googling how do I get back into an app that crashed. And I reached out, and they're like, unfortunately, the only way to fix it is delete the app, but you're going to delete all your cards because they're not downloaded to a server. They don't download to the server on their end until you order them. So I couldn't get back into the app. So I lost 160 cards. So I just scrapped that whole idea of creating a card of every game. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, I have 180 cards ready to purchase. I put them in my cart. The app effing crashes. So now it's like, I've spent a ton of time creating these custom cards for spring training coming up, and this app crashes. God dang it. So I'm Googling, nothing's wrong. I'm like, there's gotta be a way to get into this app and get my stuff. So I needed I'm due for a new phone. It's been like 5 years. So I'm like, I'll just get a new phone, and maybe like it'll, when everything, like all of the old apps transfer to your new phone, maybe it just needs a new phone. I get home from US Cellular last week. I click on the Rookies app. Won't open. I'm like, I'll close it out. Nothing. God, I'm pissed. I'd already emailed customer service. No response. I tweeted at them. No response. So I left them a 1-star review. And so it's like, well, then I just got back on the horse, and I started creating, and I started ordering them like 100 cards at a time. And I put in like 3 different orders. I ended up ordering like 400 cards. I made 400 custom cards of minor league players that I can get autographed at spring training. Last night, the customer service from Rookies finally responded to me, and they're like, hey, really sorry. What can we do? And I'm like, well, in the time that I first initially reached out to you, I've already created and purchased 400 cards. They responded back, I'm really sorry. We haven't found a fix to this. We're refunding all of these cards. That was awesome. So even though it's annoying and the app is shaky, he's like, it's good that you did this in stages so you didn't lose your work. So I would recommend the Rookies app because it's the only, like I had to go, like there's no other, like Tops Like Topps will not like print cards of like minor league players, but rookies will. And there's no other like, and it's the best app out there for creating custom cards, and it's super easy. Guys like me that don't know how to do graphic design. So I had no other option but to just build back. So if you are using the Rookies app, make sure don't, once you get enough to make a purchase in case the app crashes, because there isn't a fix to that bug yet. So, but shout out to Rookies app for refunding all of the money. I really appreciate. I mean, I've done a ton of business with them. I have spent thousands of dollars on custom cards through the Rookies app, and you're like, oh my god, why on custom cards? Because I like them. Because it's my own personal collection. Like, oh, they're worthless, but not to me. It's like other people's. That's what I like to spend some money on, and it's really cool. Do I have my autograph book? No, it's in the other room. But I get them autographed and I just put them in a binder, and they're my Cubs autos, because a lot of these guys don't have card. And actually, that's how I became friends with Ethan Roberts. Was 5 years ago. I created custom draft cards, and he reached out, and then we kept dialogue over the last 5 years. Miguel Pabon is just transitioned to catcher. I've been making custom cards for him. Bryce Wyndham, who got invited to the big league. He's a non-roster invitee this year, and he's an awesome dude, and he's a really fun player to watch at catcher. So keep an eye out for Bryce Wyndham. Riley Martin is a Quincy guy. Brian knows Riley Martin. I printed some extras for him. So I printed some extras for some of the players that I'll give to them at spring training. So it's really cool, because you get that personal connection, because these guys don't have cards. Once they get cards, they're in Bowman, Topps. Then it's like, oh, your custom cards, yeah, they suck. But if they don't ever get a card, it's like, hey, this is cooler than my minor league card. They really like it. There was one kid that played for the University of Illinois. I don't think he's in the Cubs system anymore. I think it's Zach Taylor. Had an awesome photographer out of South Bend. Her name's Rebecca Snyder. And I reached out and I'm like, hey, can I use some of your photos to print out and to make custom cards? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And she like gave me like a Dropbox link to all her photos. And she's like, take whatever you want. So I printed that off, and Zach reached out and he's like, how can I get one of those cards? And I'm like, I'll be at spring training. And so he signed one for me, and then I gave him like 4 or 5. So it's really cool. It gives you like a personal connection. So I really enjoy creating the custom cards. And the Rookies app, even though the app is they need a fix, they made it right. So I do appreciate that. Christian uses the Rookies app to make custom Lions cards. Works great. Sal Dougie says it's baseball season. Oh, where are we at? I missed some quotes up here. Flipping Sports Guy says the Jason Kelsey Wawa commercial in pregame was great. I don't know if I saw that one. It's not a sub. It's a frickin' hoagie. A sub is what you have at school when your teacher is out. That's a good line. Michael says, really enjoy your 2 videos with chasing cardboard. For someone like me getting back into baseball, there's a ton of great info in the videos. I appreciate that. By the way, Michael, Ty and I are going to do another chat on chasing cardboard. I think this week. I think we're going to go live this week and talk about eBay sales. Not going into selling full time, but I cannot keep everything I buy either. Absolutely. And that's how it started for me. It's like, oh, I just want to sell cards that I don't want and use that money to buy cards I do want. Steve, what's happening? Off topic. What do you do with junk wax cards of stars that have a dinged corner, surface dent, etc.? That's kind of a loaded question. It depends. If it's just like 1990 Don Russ Mark McGuire with a dinged corner, it usually either gets thrown away or it goes into my bulk that I sell for like a fraction of a penny per card. Which, by the way, I put a new on Facebook Marketplace. I had like 4 people reach out right away, so hopefully I can get some stuff moved here this week. So that's pretty much what I do. If it's like because I think some of the junk wax rookies that I pulled out, like maybe a strawberry rookie has a ding, I'll sell it just and put dinged corner. So obviously it's not going to sell for the same. I'm not going to list it at the same price as what EX would go for. So it just kind of varies. If it's just a junk wax common star, I'm probably going to either throw it away or just throw it in a bulk box. But if it's like a card that normally sells for $5, I'll sell it for $2 with a dinged corner. Flipping Sports Guy says junk wax blemishes. If it's something I wouldn't want, then it's trash. And I'm pretty much the same way here. Brian says the founder of Rookies also is responsible for bringing the MLS STL team to St. Louis. Very cool. Morning, Paul Carl Cards in the house. We've got Dan here. Riley Martin, remember that name. I'll be there for the live with Ty. Thanks for the heads up. You bet. JG says custom cards are a very interesting and under-discussed topic of the hobby. It's also kind of a divisive topic. I know for me, custom cards, I enjoy custom cards. Certain one, like not all custom, kind of like art cards. Like some art cards I enjoy, but it's not my thing. But custom cards is my thing for what I create. Like some custom, if it's a Chris Bryant custom card, it's like meh. But if it's a Riley Martin custom card that I make, yes, definitely. So that's kind of something that I like. Brian says I'd be interested in the O.J. Simpson after football series of custom cards. So that's where I'm at. I don't know where I'm at. So that's what I had for today. I think that's where I'm at. That's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for a great chat talking about the Super Bowl. Back live tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. Let's see. Programming this week. We will be live every day, including the weekend. No card shows for me this coming weekend. The Madison Card Show is coming up Saturday, February 25th. So come out to the Madison Card Show. I think I'm already sold out. I had a ton of interest. I booked a bunch of tables last night. I just took a text this morning for another. So I've got to see where I'm at on tables. 2 weeks out. That's great. That's fantastic. It's been a while since I've been almost sold out this far in advance. So that's Saturday, February 25th. Shout out to my sponsors, 5-Star Cards, Black Diamond Supply, The Lion's Den, Fairy Brother Breaks, and AJ Collectibles. So those are the 5 sponsors for this month's February 25th Madison Card Show. 125 tables. Show runs 9 to 3 and it's free admission. So come out in 2 weeks to Madison. Where's it at? John Nolan Drive. And then the following day, the very next day, Sunday, February 26th, you can catch me in Janesville. I'll be set up with quarter boxes at the Holiday Inn Convention Center for the Janesville Card Show on Sunday, February 26th. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m.